Good morning. My name is Dele Ayimibo from 3Team Best Trade Academy. You are welcome to another edition of why you need to join the export team. And today we are looking at part 11. We started discussing this some few days ago. And basically what we're trying to do is to get people to understand why we need to export to Nigeria and the benefit of exporting and why they need to join the export team. Ehuanga Omokudu, thank you very much for joining. Good morning. Onyeka Tornado, thank you very much for joining. Good morning. So we started discussing, and I'm using different alphabets to represent different points of why we need to join the export team. I started with A, avoid aids and manipulation, and that when we export, team make us to be independent, largely without needing aid from people. So we can avoid the aid and manipulation that come with it from the West. And also to boost Nigerian foreign reserve, to create opportunity for SME to grow, to decrease dependence on domestic market only. Enoch Eju Kolem, thank you very much for joining. Good morning. Ali G. Court, thank you very much for joining. Good morning. It also helps to extend the product life cycle. It makes farming and rural life become more lucrative. It helps us to gain more global market share. It makes Nigeria to become home of creativity and innovation. It's also an industrialization catalyst. It helps in job creation and poverty eradication. Also helps us to know the value of what we have as competitive advantage. It makes Nigeria to lead the way for other African nations to follow. When you join the export team and we all export maximally, of course, there is more profitability for exporters. And there are numerous incentives. And these incentives, I read them out yesterday morning, so many of them. It gives opportunity for us to maximize the value of Nigerians abroad. And I call it the export value of Nigerians abroad. Joining the export team, either as an exporter of services, as an exporter of products, as an support services to exporter, we also help us to produce what we consume and consume what we produce. It also help us to quit the League of Developing Nations, then redemption of Nigerian image. I strongly believe that with good products out there, we don't need any other PR. The world will begin to take Nigeria seriously. They won't see us as one of the largest single liability in the world, but we are becoming an asset for the world because we are producing products and services for the world. It slows down rural-urban migration because farming becomes lucrative, so people in the village enjoy staying in the village. Why? They are making more money and enjoying themselves in the village rather than coming to Lagos to suffer, or going to Port Harcourt or Abuja to suffer. Then, yesterday evening, I rounded off with tax-free. If you are listening to me and you have not heard this before, I think it would be good for you to check some of the parts. This is part 11 of why you need to join the export team. I've done 10 parts already, but the part 10 of yesterday, I read out some things from our law, the company income tax law, the exemption that those company income tax law gives export. So I was reading out from the law, from that legal document, how the government of Nigeria, right from the military era, already put in place laws to enhance support for exporter in Nigeria. from the loan they take from the bank to the profit they make, both as manufacturer as commodity exporter. I discussed a lot on that yesterday, and I read clearly, just quoting straight from the law book of Nigeria. You can check it up yourself, the Company Income Tax Act, CITA, the Company Income Tax Act. Mickey Ogbaisi, thank you very much for joining. Good morning. Doric Eyo, thank you very much for joining. Good morning. This morning, I'm moving on to you. Utilization of idle capacity of companies. Because companies generally will have, your company generally tends to have idle capacity or excess capacity that they're not utilizing. Maybe they have a factory that can produce 1 million tons of an item per month, and they're only producing maybe 500 or 600. What this does for them is that by virtue of exportation, they can begin to see opportunities that they were not seeing before, and then begin to produce for more market. And when they produce for more market, it becomes a lot easier for them to utilize those idle capacity that they were not utilizing before. Those idle capacity that are not utilizing before. So what am I saying in essence? Export allow the utilization of idle capacity. Utilization of idle capacity. And that's very important. Very, very important. Why do you need to export? To enable SME grow through the utilization of their idle capacity. To create more jobs through the utilization of idle capacity. To increase earning through the utilization of idle capacity. Because most likely the extra cost they will incur is not so much apart from the raw materials. Most likely they'll be paying the workers the same amount. Maybe the workers are supposed to close by 5, but by 2 they are finished for the day, but they are still paid as if they close by 5. So now they will be able to begin to close by 5, and of course you are paying the same amount, and the company is making more. Utilization of idle capacity. Utilization of idle capacity. Now, one of the areas I'm going to dwell this morning is the viability of Nigerian state. That export increase the viability of Nigerian state. Nigerian states that are deemed to be non-viable become viable. Ajakaye Ibijoke, thank you very much for joining. Good morning. Nigerian states that are deemed to be non-viable before become very, very viable. Why? Courtesy export. So what I will do this morning is to show you some of the research we did last year, in which we analyzed Nigerian states, and we're looking at Nigerian states that have a particular product, and that if the Nigerian state can export the product, how much they can make. And our idea is this, that government should engage in a trading company through by forming a special purpose vehicle, incorporating a new company with that trading company, and that company will coordinate the farmers to produce the product like cocoa, like ginger, and buy it off the farmers based on the payment guarantee, and then sell in the export market in order to generate income. And sell in the export market in order to generate income. And we look at the case of Kaduna. Remember, we're looking at how export can make Nigerian state to become very viable. And I'll be giving an example, a couple of states this morning. Look at ginger. We did ginger for Kaduna. Kaduna is a major producer of ginger in Nigeria. The arable land mass of Kaduna is about 1.7 million hectares. 1.7 million hectares. That's the arable land mass of Kaduna State. We assume that Kaduna State is going to focus only 25% of that land mass to just cultivate ginger, because this should be a deliberate effort on the part of the government. Grace Amara Sharida, thank you very much for joining. Good morning. This should be a deliberate effort on the part of the government. If it's not a deliberate effort on the part of the government, it becomes very difficult. Why? Because the government must demonstrate. The government must demonstrate that he wants to solve the problem of the viability of Nigerian state. A lot of Nigerian states are deemed to be non-viable, understandably so, because we make that possible. That Nigerian state is not viable. We make that possible. How? By not doing what we should do as states. How can state in Nigeria be depending on Abuja? How now? How will state in Nigeria be depending on Abuja? How does that work? The state in Nigeria cannot be dependent on Abuja for survival, such that if Abuja does not come on board, nothing for them. I mean, it's a horrible way to live, man. It's a horrible way to live. It's a horrible way to live. So Nigerian state cannot remain like that. If Nigerian state remain like that, then we are not going to make any progress. And that's what has been our bane and our problem for many years now. Because Nigerian state are said to be non-viable, basically because Nigerian states have refused to take responsibility. So let's analyze Kaduna State this morning. If Kaduna use 25% of the arable land to cultivate, do you know the implication of that? They will be using 442,000 hectares to cultivate ginger. If they use 442,000 hectares to cultivate ginger, because ginger yield, these are not my view, these are view we found that from the research that have been done by some researchers in the northern part of the country. They found out that ginger yield per hectare is about 10 metric tons. Ginger yield per hectare is about 10 metric tons. Thank you very much for joining. Good morning. Ginger is about 10 metric tons. If that is the case, that means this state can produce ginger worth 4.4 million tons. 4.4 million tons. We also assume that the price of ginger, even though it was more than 1.3, to be $1,300. And that if this state sell this ginger $1,300 per metric tons, the state will achieve an income, the state will achieve an income of $1.1 billion. $1.1 billion. If you convert $1.1 billion to Naira, using 360 Naira, it will be 413.8 billion Naira. Let's assume, based on the research also that was done, the cost of farming per hectare is about 300,000. Remember, we are farming about over 400,000 hectares in Kaduna. That will amount to 132 billion. That means the cost of farming of the farmer is about $132 billion Naira. If these farmers are making profit of 30%, this will amount to $172.4 billion. Why are we calculating this? Remember, this government is going to pay back the farmer, and the farmer is supposed to make profit on the farming they've done. The farmer are the one that farmed the ginger. The farmer is supposed to make profit on the farming they've done. That's why we are calculating it, how much they are making. Now, if we divide the total amount of ginger, if you divide the amount of Naira, that means if the farmer is charging 1.4 billion Naira and they farm 4.4 million tons, that means the cost of farming and the cost of farming is about 60,000. Sorry, the cost of export rather is about 60,000. So we already know the cost of farming to be 172.4 billion Naira, and the cost of export is 60,000 per metric ton, and we're exporting 4,400 metric ton ginger. Sorry, 4.4 million tons of ginger. So 4.4 million and 60,000 equals to 53 billion. So cost of farming 172 billion. Cost of export 53 billion. Cost of farming plus cost of export, 225 billion. Total in proceed is 413 billion minus 225 billion. That is a profit of about 188 billion. 188 billion. The IGR of Kaduna in 2017 is 26.5 billion. 26.5 billion plus 188 billion is 214 billion. 214 billion. The budget of Kaduna State in 2018 is 216 billion. That means Kaduna State can generate 99% of the budget it has for its people by exporting ginger, farm on 25% of the arable land, plus the 26.5 billion naira internally generated revenue. Kaduna State can become independent of Abuja. Kaduna State can become independent of Abuja. Peter Omeiki, thank you very much for joining. Good morning. Naimeka Anthony, thank you very much for joining. Good morning. Oluwaseyo Olowoyo, thank you very much for joining. Good morning, and you're all welcome. So what I'm trying to say in essence is that joining the export team makes Nigerian state to become viable. So that means it's not just you that should join the export team. The Nigerian state should join the export team. And I mean all the states in Nigeria, because every state in Nigeria has something to offer as far as export is concerned. Every state in Nigeria has something to offer as far as export is concerned. The reason why Nigerian states have not been able to do much, why they depend heavily and largely on the state, on the federal government, is because Nigerian state have not accepted responsibility. Nigerian state has not accepted responsibility. The day Nigerian state begin to accept responsibility, then we understand that, look, we can actually summon our challenges. The issue of non-viability of Nigerian state is, for me, an aberration. It's because Nigerian state have not accepted responsibility to generate. Instead of doing exactly what government is doing, federal government is doing to generate income, what does federal government do to generate income? Federal government partner with the oil majors. Having partnered with the oil majors, when they produce and export, government get a percentage of the amount of oil produced, and government export it through some other parties in Nigeria. And through this, they generate income. And I'm saying Nigerian state can do this time around, not for oil, this time around, not for oil and gas, but rather for solid minerals and for agricultural commodities. And I've just given you an example of ginger in Kafansha or Kaduna State. Ginger in Kaduna State. Ginger in Kaduna State. So I'm going to go to another state now. Remember, we're looking at the viability of Nigerian state as far as export is concerned. I'm going to look at another state in Nigeria, and I will look at another product also. Another state in Nigeria, and I'll be looking at another product. Let me take another state in the north. Let me take Gombe State. Viability of Nigerian state as far as export is concerned. Gombe State have, so look at what we are saying. We are basically saying that all the government need to do is to partner with farmers in their state, then partner with also a company to create an SPV, special purpose vehicle. This state they partner with to create a portable vehicle. These trading partners, they have an agreement. Maybe government is having 80% share, they are having 20%, or government is having 90%, they are having 10%. But government then engage, through this agent, engage the members or the citizens of that state and partner with them. And government said, go and farm sesame seed for me. If you farm sesame seed for me, I'm going to buy it from you at 30% or above the cost of farming in this state. You have to farm this seed and deliver it to a location where the quality will be confirmed, and the state government will pay you back in 3 months. The state government will pay back in 3 months after delivery, and state government will pay 30% over and above your cost. So let's look at Gombe. Sesame seed in Gombe. Gombe arable land mass about 720,000 hectares of land. If Gombe is using half of their arable land to cultivate sesame seed, with a yield per hectare of 1.5 metric ton, 50% of the land of Gombe, which is 360,000 hectares, multiplied by 1.5 metric ton yield, we produce 540,000 metric ton of sesame seed. If we assume a conservative figure of $1,000 per metric tons, $1,000 per metric ton to sell that sesame seed, we are going to achieve a price of $540 million. $540 million. $540 million converted to Naira using 360 will be 194 billion Naira. 194 billion Naira. According to researcher, the cost of farming sesame seed in Gombe is about 60,000 per hectare. That means the cost of farming 360,000 hectares will be 21.6 billion. If Gombe people are making 30% return on this sesame seed, that means the Gombe people are going to be paid by government $28.1 billion. $28.1 billion. If the cost of export in our estimation is 45,000 per metric ton, to export 540,000 metric tons of sesame seed will cost $24.3 billion. $24.3 billion. $24.3 billion being the cost of export, plus $28.1 billion being the cost of farming. This will produce $52.4 billion. $52.4 billion minus $194 billion, 194 billion Naira export proceeds. So we have the cost of farming 24 billion Naira, cost of farming 28 billion, 28.1 billion Naira, cost of export 24.3 billion Naira, total is 52.4 billion Naira, minus the export proceeds of 194 billion Naira. The profit of this state government will be about 142.2 billion Naira. In 2007, Gombe IGR was 55.3 billion Naira. 5.3 billion Naira plus 142 billion Naira, we produce 147.5 billion Naira. The budget of Gombe State in 2018 is 114 billion Naira. That means the IGR of Gombe plus exportation of sesame seed on half of the arable land of Gombe, we produce 129% of the Gombe State budget. Gombe can become completely independent of Abuja. Gombe can become completely independent of Abuja. For those just joining us, we are still talking about why you need to join the export team. And this morning we are focusing on our state government, why the states need to join the export team. And we are looking at how viable Nigerian state can become if Nigerian state can accept the responsibility of generating their income by exportation of the commodities that are found in their state. And that the government does not need to be the one in charge. The government will partner with their citizens, engage a consultant, a trading company to work with them on this project, and they can make the project a success. So we have looked at ginger in Kaduna State. We have looked at sesame seed in Gombe State. Can we come back to the south? Let's come to the south and look at cocoa in Ogun State. Cocoa in Ogun State. Adolphus Ali, thank you very much for joining. Good morning. Ajulo Ajayi, thank you very much for joining. Good morning. You are welcome. Let's look at cocoa in Ogun State. Cocoa in Ogun State. Okay. Ogun State have 643 1,000 hectares of land, arable land. If Ogun State cultivates 30% of that arable land, and we are using 30% because they are using a lot of the land for industrialization, so we can't do 50% like Gombe. So they can use like 30% of the land. 30% of the arable land in Ogun State is 193,000 hectares. The yield of cocoa, according to research we did by some researchers from southern Nigeria, is 1.5 metric tons per hectare. That means on the land of 193,000 hectares, we can generate 289,000 metric tons. Do you know that currently Nigeria produce less than about 240,000 metric tons of cocoa, and that has made us to be around 3rd or 4th place in the world. Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire leading the way. But Ogun State alone can produce 289,000 metric tons of cocoa. Imagine if Ondo State joined, or your state joined, or Osun State joined with Ogun State. We can surpass significantly. This is excluding the northern state and the south state that are producing cocoa. We can surpass greatly Cote d'Ivoire, that is leading the way now with almost 1 million tons in production of cocoa, whereas we are doing about 240. And Ogun State alone, by just concentrating on 30% of arable land in Ogun State, can produce 289,000 tons of cocoa at a conservative price of $2,200 per metric ton. Ogun State can generate $643 million in export proceeds. If you convert this to naira, you are going to have 231 billion naira. 231 billion naira. The cost of farming cocoa per hectare, according to research, is about 40,000. It's about 40,000 naira per hectare. And that, if you cultivate 193,000 hectares, that comes to about 7.7 billion naira with a profit of 50%. With a profit of 50%. This state, can actually generate about 10 billion, over 10 billion naira. Over 10 billion naira. This state can generate this state can pay the farmer that did that cocoa about 10 billion naira. 10 billion naira if the cost of exporting cocoa in our research is 60,000 per metric ton. That means we are going to exporting using 70.4 billion naira. Plus about 10 billion naira that we pay the farmer, that's about 27 billion naira. 231 billion naira minus about 27 billion naira, that leaves us with over 200 billion naira in profit. So the IGR of Ogun State in 2017 was 74 billion naira. 74 billion naira plus about 200 billion naira is about 277 billion naira. The budget of Ogun State in 2008 is 343 billion naira. This amount of 277 billion naira can fund 80% of the budget of Ogun State. 80% of the budget of Ogun State. Ogun State can become independent of Abuja by just focusing on cocoa. Same for all the western states. All the western states. Now, let's look at another state in the southeast now. In the southeast. And I'll be looking at Imo State, and I'll be looking at palm oil production in Imo State. Palm oil production in Imo State. If the arable land of Imo State is about 195,000 metric tons, 195,000 hectares. If Imo State cultivates, use 50% of the arable land to cultivate palm kernel, Imo State, and the yield per hectare is 18,000 metric tons. That means Imo State will be cultivating 97,000 hectares at 18 metric tons. It will be yielding 1.7 million. 1.7 million tons. 1.7 million tons. Now, if we process this palm fruit, the yield is about 19%. So that means if the yield is about 19%, that means we are going to generate about 334 million tons of palm oil from the 1.7 million tons of palm fruit. We can generate 337,000 metric tons of palm oil. From 1.7 million tons of the palm fruit, we can generate 334,000 tons of palm oil. The cost of processing is about 20,000. And that means we will need about 6.7 billion to process, plus the cost of farming of 2 billion. Cost of farming of 2 billion. Cost of export of 30 billion. Cost of export of 10 billion. We have a total of about 18 billion. So to be able to farm and process 334,000 tons of palm oil, we need about 18 billion naira. 18 billion naira. We need about 8 billion naira plus 10 billion naira export cost. That's 18 billion naira. Now, if we sell 334,000 tons of palm oil at the rate of $400 per metric ton, we will generate 134 billion naira. $134 million. If we convert at 360, we will generate 48.2 billion naira. If we remove the 18 billion naira from that, we are going to have 36.2 billion naira. This is about 22.5% of the budget of Imo State, because Imo is generating 6.8 billion naira locally, plus 36.2 billion naira, we have 43 billion naira. What I'm saying in essence is that Imo State can generate a quarter of their budget by just exporting palm oil. Now, by the time you add other products to it, you can imagine what they can generate at the end of the day. I'm basically saying this morning that Nigerian state can become very viable and become independent of Abuja by just taking responsibility to join the export team and begin to export commodity, partnering with their member, their citizen of their state to produce this product. They will give those state people, the citizen, a guarantee to pay them within a particular period. At the end of the day, every state in Nigeria who has products for export, and every state in Nigeria actually have an exportable commodity, agric or solid mineral, can begin to generate their own resources and become extremely independent of the federal government in Abuja. This is my story this morning on why you need to join the export team. And this morning, I've focused on two things. I've focused on utilization of excess capacity of companies, and I've also focused on viability of Nigerian state. The fact that if we join the export team as a state government, Nigerian state can become very, very, very viable. My time is up. Thank you very much for joining me this morning again. This is Import Export Platform Facebook Live from 3Team Best Trade Academy. My name remains Dele Ayemibo, and we'll see you again in the evening as we continue our conversation, part 12. This morning is part 11. We'll be doing part 12 in the evening, why you need to join the export team. Have a great day at work, and bye for now.